one-stop shop for needs. Call 408-805-4653 or log on to nagarajhomes.com. Here we go. Welcome to the Real Estate Show. I'm Nagaraj Annaiah, your host, bringing your experts' insights into the Bay Area housing market, investment trends, and everything real estate. Today, we are addressing a topic that's profoundly impacting our community: the intersection of immigration policies and the real estate market. Recent tech industry layoffs have significantly affected H-1B visa holders, raising a concerns about job security and housing stability. Additionally, new regulations now allow entrepreneurs to self-sponsor H-1B visas through their own startups. To help us navigate these complex issues, I'm honored to have Ashima Duggal, a leading immigration attorney, joining us today. Hello, Ashima, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nagaraj. Happy to be here.
Hello, listeners. If you have any questions on the Bay Area real estate market or anything on the H-1B stuffs going on around or anything on the green card or immigration related, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877-265-5992, 877-265-5992. So, Ashima, let's start with like recent layoffs at Meta, Amazon, and Salesforce have left many H-1B visa holders in a tough spot, right? So let's talk about like what are the immediate options for H-1B holders who have been laid off right now?
Yeah, this is a ongoing issue for the last several years. Good question, Nagaraj. So good news is the 60-day grace period is still available. It has not been revoked by the new administration. So after your termination, your separation, you do have a 60-day grace. Now, that's never enough time to find a job in any market. In today's market, it's very difficult. So what you need to think about in those 60 days, if it's looking like you cannot get another company to sponsor you by day 40, day 45, you need to change your status. You can change it to a visitor, B1 or B2, and that gets you an additional 180 days to keep looking for a job.
Okay, so one is the B1, right? Or a visitor visa, B1 or B2.
Yeah, B1 is for business visitors, B2 is for tourism travel, but either one. And again, you don't need a visa stamp. There's no stamping here.
Okay.
You're just applying to change your status.
Okay.
And you cannot travel when you apply to change your status, but you can be here and then keep looking for a job. And then when you find a job, maybe it takes another 2-3 months.
Yeah.
You can then go back to H-1B, change your status back to H-1B.
Oh, what about the O1 or the EB5? That also options for the people who've been laid off right now?
Yeah, absolutely. If you are a qualified professional, many years of experience, you need to talk to an attorney and see, should you change your status to an O1A for technology professionals? Does that make sense to you?
Okay. And how does, like, for example, when I apply for an O1 or an EB5, right? Like, is it like until I think it takes some time to get even apply for it. It's not happening overnight, right? Like, it takes
you're right. The O1 is an extraordinary ability visa, and you have to build it if you aren't eligible for it. So many of the qualified, experienced, technology professionals, maybe you have met critical role, maybe you met salary, and you need one more. Judging events, original contributions of major significance to the field. So maybe you've developed a new product. You've enhanced features for a product. So you need to look, do you have any publications? So there's 8 criteria. You only have to meet 3. So I said some of them: critical roles, salary, publications, judging events, memberships, awards. So you should consider an O1 if you want to start your own business and be 100% owner.
Okay. So, listeners, myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, and I'm talking to Ashima Duggal, the immigration expert. If you have any questions in the Bay Area real estate or anything on the immigration, this is the time you should not miss out. You can give us a call. We are live on the studio, Wally 92.3. So, our studio line numbers are 877-265-5992. 877-265-5992, or easy to remember, 877 Bali 92. So now let's talk about the switching the gears towards the H-1B visa for the startup founders. There have been recent updates what we are talking about, right? Like to start a business, but there are so many challenges, correct? There was like something called startup founders for they can also qualify for H-1B visa.
That's right. And we can tie this even to the layoffs. And so if you don't
Ah,
qualify for an O1, but you have some business ideas, you have some interest from some customers, some companies, some co-founders, this is the time. If you cannot find a job that you have a lot of technical expertise,
mhm.
you can do something of a self-sponsorship of an H-1B. So that is brand new.
Uh-huh. That's a good one to know. Continue, Ashima. Yeah.
So it's on January 17th, it became effective. It's under the H-1B modernization rule under the last administration, under the Biden administration. So far, it is still valid. The new president and administration has not revoked it. So you can prepare these cases. I can help you prepare them. So what do you need to qualify? Okay. You need a valid business plan. It has to be clear and actionable. It needs to show that you have a bona fide job offer. So what does that mean? How do you have a bona fide role or job offer when it's your own company?
Correct.
You got to show that it's a real company. It's not just something you're doing because you were laid off, right? You've
Okay.
got to show that you have a product that you're, maybe have a, initial stage product. Maybe you have some angel investor funding. Maybe you have some letters of interest from those who are interested in purchasing the product. Maybe some VC firms are interested. And you need that detailed business plan that shows market validation, industry presence, proof of concept. And I think there is a high possibility of success for self-sponsorship of your own H-1B for your own startup.
Okay, that's good to know. I think I have a couple of questions around that. Listeners, myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, I'm talking to Ashima Duggal, the immigration expert. We're talking all about the H-1B and immigration. If you have any questions, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877-265-5992. 877-265-5992. So around this H-1B startups, right? Like or the H-1B visa for the startup founders, for example, they should be on the tech itself, or like somebody is going to move away from the tech and they want to apply for them. Will they also qualify? If they're switching the roles, does that even qualify for them?
Yes, you're right. It doesn't have to be technology.
Mhm.
You just have to show a well-structured business plan. You do need to show that it's a specialty occupation, just like any other H-1B.
Mhm.
Specialty occupation means that the job requires a bachelor's degree or higher. It's a professional level position.
Uh-huh.
And so that's usually, physician, engineer, lawyer, for example. And there's so many.
What about the cooks? Like, for example, I'm in a tech, but I want to become a cook or restaurant manager. Will they qualify for it?
Probably not, unfortunately not. But if you wanted to be the CFO, chief financial officer of a restaurant, maybe there's a possibility of that, more so. A marketing analyst, computer systems analyst, those are the ones that come, that USCIS generally challenges.
Oh, okay, okay. So what about like venture capitalists or investors? Will they be hesitant to fund startups led by like H-1B visa holders? Are you seeing that due to a high visa risks, right? Do you think they'll be kind of skeptical or scared about this?
So one of the potential for this visa is to attract innovation.
Mhm.
However, USCIS has put a limit of 18 months, and then you can extend it for another 3 years. But
Okay.
that first 18 months, you've got to prove to USCIS that you're doing something with your business. So I think a VC firm might look at that and think, well, do we really want to put our money into the first 18 months
Yeah.
when we don't know if that visa will be extended?
I think that's all depends on the company ideas or what they're working on. That's at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really, I think VCs that see something very promising and a wonderful product, and I don't think they're going to be scared by that 18 months. They know they're going to get that extension. And again, if you have VC funding and you are CTO, CEO, you can get an O1. So if that extension for the H-1B doesn't happen, you need to speak to a talented attorney and change your status to an O1.
Listeners, myself, realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, and I'm talking to Ashima Duggal. We are discussing anything on the immigration today. If you have any questions, you know where to call 877 Bali 92, 877 Bali 92 on anything on your immigration or a real estate. So, like, see, we discussed about like sponsoring themselves and other stuffs, right? But what do you think the positives and downsides of this new policies? Like, do you think anything positives and downsides of this?
Well, it's only a great opportunity if you already have an H-1B visa. So if you don't have one and you're on OPT or STEM OPT and you're working on your own startup,
Let's take
in
up a
your
call, Ashima, 1 second.
okay.
Hi, welcome to the Real Estate Show. Your name, please?
Hi, my name is Ankit. I'm from Pleasanton. I have a quick question
Yeah.
for Ashima. Does the H-1B, I mean, the O1A category or the H-1B self-sponsoring can be done for a physical therapist who can open the business in the United States?
So what are the requirements to be a physical therapist? Do you have to have a bachelor's degree?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, the physical therapist is already in the country and working professional under H4 EAD, but due to the current situation and wanna switch to H1B self-sponsoring or O1A, do they qualify for that?
Okay, so physical therapy is considered a specialty occupation under the H-1B visa. So that is something you can absolutely pursue. You've got to show the licenses and all of that. And the O1 you can also pursue, whether it's O1A or O1B, we have to review. The differences are, do you already have, you have to go through the lottery. If you don't already have an H-1B, you have to go through the lottery. With the O1, you don't have to go through the lottery, but you've got to show that minimum of 3 criteria. And
Got it.
I am promoting, I am accepting these H-1B self-sponsorship cases, but it was passed January under the Biden administration. In 6 months, is Trump going to revoke it? We don't know. So I always tell my clients, if you have no opportunity for an O1, the H-1B is your only opportunity. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, and then build your O1. You should always have a backup.
I think that's a well said, Ashima. I think I always think about always H1B folks goes into O1, O1 goes into EB1A. Might be some points are missing which they need to be building their portfolio always. But a lot of people are skeptical or scared. They don't want to work on it. But it's as you said, take it as a long term, 3 years, 2 years, build on your cases. which might help them out. Ankit, do you have any follow-up questions on this?
No, this is great. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
so
lot,
much.
Ashima.
Thank you.
Thank
And, thank you and best of luck. Listeners, let me take a quick break and we'll join you back.
If you are selling your Bay Area home, maximize your profit and minimize your stress with Nagaraj Annaiah, a mortgage and real estate expert. Nagaraj Annaiah understands the unique challenges Bay Area sellers face. He'll expertly price your home, market it to the right buyers, and negotiate the best possible deal. For a free consultation, call Nagaraj Annaiah today at 858-880-4577 or visit nagarajhomes.com. Bye.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Show. Myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, and I'm talking to Ashima, the immigration expert, and we are discussing anything about H-1B and a green card and anything on the immigration related. So now the next important topic, Ashima, let's change the gears. The H-1B lottery registration for 2025, which opens up on March 27th, right? March 7th. How do they, like many applications, are preparing for their chances?
Sure. So if you're a company or a would-be employee or an employee who wants the H-1B, you can start preparing now. You can go to USCIS website and create that company account. So that way, in March 7th, when the lottery opens, you are already done, the first step is already done, company creation. You need to look at your passports. If your passport is expired or going to get expired in the next 6 months, I would just start the renewal process now.
Mm-hmm.
If you should, if you don't have a degree, you haven't graduated, that's okay. Just as long as by the time you apply, you will have the degree. So that's a frequent question I'm getting. So just keep that in mind. By the way, if you are selected in the random lottery, you'll find out before April 1st, and you have 90 days to apply. April, May, and June until June 30th. So you would have graduated, right? Most of you will graduate in May. Mm-hmm. So the registration fee has gone up this year. It mm-hmm. used to only be $10 for the last 3-4 years. Now it's gone up to $215 per registration, so per person.
Wow. Okay. So listeners, myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, and I'm talking to Ashima Duggal, the immigration expert. We are discussing anything about the immigration today. If you have any questions, you can give out a call. Our studio line numbers are 877-265-5992. Ashima, now I think maybe one question around this. So for example, this we talked about the who wants to apply for an H-1B, but for a company, for somebody is like doing a startup or like, for example, they plan to do a startup or they want to do a consultation job. How do they build their company portfolio so that they can sponsor for H-1Bs?
Sure. So you have to show that you have enough funding or, income to pay at least the prevailing minimum wage for an H-1B worker. So mm-hmm. Whether you're, if I understood your question properly, you have to have some funding, right? And so if you're, in Bay Area, salaries are high. Yeah. Level 1, level 2 for a software engineer, you might be paying 6 figures. And so you have to show that much is in your bank account, or you have, the VC funding. Mm-hmm. If you're not certain, there are some strategies. You could hire the individual on an hourly part-time basis.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
A lot of my clients don't know that an H-1B need not be full-time. They can be part-time.
Okay. That's good to know. So I think one more also, right? Like a lot of folks I'm noticing, like they're applying for students, especially they're applying for a third time and they're still not getting paid. Maybe this might be their last time.
I have these conversations at least once or twice a month, and it's very sad. They didn't have a backup plan. So all of you listening, you need to, if you are on an H-1B, if you are on an F1 OPT or STEM OPT, you have 3 chances, right?
Yeah.
you've got to start preparing as soon as possible. Don't wait until year 2 or 3. A lot of, people do wait and they say, oh, we'll worry about it in year 2. You may not have enough time. And what if you suffer a layoff at that point?
Yeah.
So you need to have a backup plan. And maybe the backup plan, you graduated with a master's. Maybe you want to get an MBA. Maybe you want to get a PhD. Or, again, we talked about the O1 already. The O1 could be your plan B, your backup. So start building it. Start going to events and trying to be a judge at hackathons, at pitch competitions. Work with an accelerator to see if you can serve in an advisory capacity.
Mm-hmm.
If you're still a student, look for opportunities to publish. And you don't have to always publish in an academic journal. Those can be harder to publish. You have to do the research and all of that. I mean, you can do publications in major media, including some blogs.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn does not count. I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
And Medium, those don't count. Nothing that's self-publishing. So I counsel my clients and coach them over a few months on how to build their profile. And for my clients, I also maintain lists. I maintain lists of memberships they can join, a few places they can publish, and judging events that other clients have done over the years.
Yeah, I think that's the basically I keep, as we discussed in the earlier of the show also, right? All goes hand in hand. Some of the stuff what you do for H-1B, the same thing can be applied for O1, and whatever you do for O1, the same thing applies for the EB1A. But all these things we need to be gradually, or like have the plan set, like talk to experts like you. How can they build a portfolio? So that way it helps them to do it. Don't jump tomorrow and you need a EB1A. No, it doesn't happen. Start building your portfolio so that you can go get your immigration or a green card or whatever it may be, right? But one thing, right, we have a couple of more minutes, but like quick on the H1, like new pilot programs, right, for the H1B visa renewals are happening. Can we quickly touch upon on that, Ashima? Is anything
Sure.
on the new pilot programs?
The pilot programs for what? I'm so sorry.
For H1B visa renewals, are there any new latest updates on that?
So that is the other huge update, and it's quite unfortunate that the before you could renew you could go to Dropbox. You didn't have to go to India, the consulate. You didn't have to go to a visa interview.
Mm-hmm.
But now the timing has changed from 48 months to 12 months. So if your visa was expired less than 12 months ago, then then you're excluded. But if it was more than 12 months ago expired, you have to actually go to the consulate and go see a visa officer. So that will take more time. You'll have to plan your trip. You could get stuck in delayed processing. And because of this change from 48 months to 12 months, I expect wait times to go longer.
Actually, we're running out of the time, but we can have this discussion next month coming. But if somebody wants to reach out to you, if any questions on the immigration, how do they can reach out to you, Ashima?
Sure. My website is duggall.com, DUGGAL law.com. My phone number is 650-569-0333.
Yeah, listeners, if you have any questions on the Bay Area real estate, if you want to buy, sell, or you're planning to do some investments in the Bay Area real estate, it's easy to reach out to me. Go to nagarajhomes.com, click on a WhatsApp icon. That's the easiest way to connect with me. Anytime, any questions on the Bay Area real estate. It might be you're planning to buy, or you're like, maybe you just came from India and you want to buy in the next 2 years. You want to strategize, how do you do it? But if you're planning to sell your house, and you would like to understand what's a sell process, or if you're like, understand 10% down, 20% down, if you want to buy your property, always, any questions before anything on the investment on the real estate, do reach out to me. Thank you, Ashima. Thanks, listeners. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.